Hey everyone, it's Jonathan, and today's episode is sort of a bonus episode, but I think I'm also going to treat these kind of episodes as just regular episodes. I'm doing another interview slash Q&A with one of my friends. One of my fellow writers for the Rotoscopers, Hannah, and I have been talking about Star Wars for years. Back when Star Wars Rebels was on the air, she and I would write the episode recaps for the Rotoscopers and geek out about the show together. We've actually casually talked on and off for years about continuing to cover Star Wars in some way, even before I started this podcast. But the idea has just kind of been on the back burner, and we haven't done it until now. In the next episode, Hannah will be joining me to talk about the original Star Wars film. But before we get into that, we did a Q&A and talked about a bunch of our favorite films and franchises. And of course, since we both love animation, that was a big focus for most of the conversation. First, I guess just let us know a little bit about you, like work, pets, hobbies, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So my name is Hannah. I am a college student, and my interests include horseback riding, writing, like books and poetry and things like that. And I love watching anime and just anything animated. And I also enjoy cosplaying.
Okay, I knew about the animation. I didn't know about the cosplay. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's a pretty new thing. I got into it just over quarantine this past summer.
Okay. So what kind of characters do you like to cosplay?
Well, I started with Rey from Star Wars, and I'd actually cosplayed her twice before at a local convention when I was in high school. But then I actually seriously got into cosplay this past March when quarantine started because um, I got on TikTok. I was bored in quarantine, and I got on TikTok. I just saw a bunch of people cosplaying, and I thought it was really cool. And it was always something that I'd been interested in since, like I said, I'd cosplayed Rey twice before.
Mhm.
So I just started getting into it. So I cosplayed Rey on there, and I also cosplayed Silk from the Marvel comics. I cosplayed Belle from Disney, but then I started watching anime. And so my content and my cosplays kind of shifted over from kind of Marvel, Star Wars, Disney as I was doing into anime characters, beginning with My Hero Academia. So I cosplay quite a few My Hero Academia characters. I cosplay the female version of Deku. I cosplay the female version of Todoroki. I cosplay Mina Ashido. I cosplay Uraraka. I cosplay Eri. I think those are all of my Hero ones. And then, yeah, I just started watching more and more anime and just kind of racked up some different cosplays from them. So, like, I watch Haikyuu. So I do a female Hinata Shoyo. I started watching Demon Slayer. So now I have Shinobu. But yeah, I've just gotten a bunch of, my content's really more, and my cosplays are more anime focused now than when I started.
Okay, that's really interesting. I've cosplay is something that I've always liked the idea of, but I know it can be expensive to try and get into, so I haven't even tried anything. Plus, there's nowhere around here where I am to, at least that I know of, to go and like show it off. But I guess TikTok would be a good outlet for that because I have seen a bunch of people dressing up and doing videos in their cosplay on there.
Yeah, definitely. There's a huge cosplay community on TikTok, and I've actually made really great friends through it. I'm actually right now in the apartment I'm in. I'm living with my best friend who I met on TikTok cosplaying.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I'm in Discord servers with a bunch of different, cosplayers. So it's a really great community. I've made really great friends. But yeah, it can definitely be definitely be expensive. I have to learn how to budget and, find a decent quality but reasonably priced costume and wigs on Amazon. Luckily, the Amazon wigs are pretty affordable and good quality, but yeah, it's definitely you have to watch yourself because you can definitely just blow a bunch of money that you didn't mean to.
Yeah, I could see that. Some of the costumes that I see are so elaborate and detailed. You can imagine just how long it took to make and how much money it would take to put it together.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I don't even make mine because I just get them off Amazon or like AliExpress because I unfortunately don't know how to sew or anything like that. I wish I did, but there are, cosplayers that I follow on TikTok who create their own cosplays, and it's just incredible what they're able to do. I mean, they're just they're magic.
Mm. One thing that I would really like to do, it's sort of cosplaying. Have you heard of Disney bounding?
Yes.
I love that idea. I would love to do that one day.
Yeah, that would be really fun. I want to do that too. I've always I say every year that I'm going to do that when because well normally I go to Disney World pretty much every year, but you know with COVID that affects things.
Mhm.
But I always say that I like oh yeah I'll Disney bound at the parks, and then I just end up wearing the same old things that I that I usually wear. But I've seen a lot of really cool Disney bound outfits. That would be really fun.
Yeah, I've never made it to any of the parks, but if I ever do, I should think about what I'm going to wear and try to put something together before I go because it would be so much fun to wear a themed outfit when I'm there.
Yeah, definitely.
So we kind of got to know each other through animation because we both write for the Rotoscopers. So let's talk a little bit about favorite animation. I usually do like favorite movies, TV shows, but let's start with animation because that's kind of our shared interest that got us together.
Mhm.
So, what is your favorite animated movie?
Um, I love Aladdin. I really love Aladdin. I also really like Beauty and the Beast. Those are like my top two that I guess if I had to pick a favorite, it would be like out of the two, it would have to be Aladdin. But I love those movies so much.
Yeah, they're good. I grew up with Aladdin. It wasn't like one of my top favorites. My favorites were weirdly Fantasia and Bambi, which don't seem like ones that kids would be drawn to, but we owned Aladdin, so I watched that a lot as a kid.
Yeah. I need to see Fantasia. I actually have not seen that yet, but you know, with Disney
Really?
Plus, I have, you know, the whole catalog, so
Yeah,
I need to watch that. But Bambi's a
almost
good one
all
too. I haven't
catalog.
seen Bambi in a long time.
Yeah, Disney Plus is still missing, I think, one of the main, I think there's 59 now. They're still missing one of the early package films. I think it's Make My Music. It's either Make My Music or Melody Time. I don't remember which one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's missing, but
Yeah, that's
they
interesting.
almost have the full collection.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
So, what is your favorite animated series? I assume you watch animation on TV.
Yes. Let's see.
And I guess this
There's
could be anime too, since you're into anime as well. So, however you want to take the question.
oh, there's so many different routes to take. Okay, well, if I'm going anime route, my top three are My Hero Academia, Fruits Basket, and Haikyuu. Those are just amazing. I love all of them very, very much. And the animation style itself is also really beautiful on all of those shows. But then away from anime, I guess the first thing that comes to mind is Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I absolutely adore Clone Wars. Ahsoka Tano is one of my favorite Star Wars characters. I think my two favorite Star
Yeah.
Wars characters are Ahsoka and the Mandalorian. So I love her, and you know she was in that series. I also really enjoyed Star Wars Rebels, and then there have been some really great ones on Netflix recently, or fairly recently, like She-Ra and the Princesses of Power was great. The Dragon Prince was really, really great. I'm waiting for them to release more seasons. I know that things are different because of COVID, and they probably can't film as quickly or create the show as quickly, but they said Netflix ordered the full series, so they're going to be like several more seasons. And I'm waiting for it to come back.
Yeah, I need to get into those. Those are two that I have had my eye on since they started coming out, and I still have not started them. I've had too much other stuff going on, but the Dragon Prince, especially, that one I need to watch. I've heard really good things.
It's so good. I really, really love it. Like I said, I'm waiting for it to come back. It's been too long, but it's really, really great.
So, you talked about some of your favorite Disney movies. What about Pixar?
Hmm. I love Toy Story. Always had a soft spot for Toy Story. I have a younger brother too, who those were like his favorites. He loves watching Toy Story. I also have a soft spot for Cars because my other brother really liked Cars. So between both brothers, I watched Cars and Toy Story many times. But I think especially the Toy Story movies; those are just so beautiful. And I recently watched Soul. That was pretty good. Have you seen Soul?
Yeah, I just watched it like a week or two ago. It was really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was great. I'm not saying that because it's like it's not one of my favorites, but just talking about Pixar, I remember I was like, oh, Soul, I remembered that.
Mhm.
I haven't been able to talk to anyone about Soul.
Yeah, that one, I don't want to get too spoilery, so I'll say
Mhm.
at the beginning there's a bridge and before the end of the bridge scene, it was my favorite movie of 2020.
Yeah, it was really really amazing. They did
Yeah,
a really great job.
yeah. It was so creative. I loved the animation style and the music. It was really good.
Yes, it was very creative, like the way that they were able to portray kind of, the other side, if you will.
Hmm. So, what about favorite movies in general? Are you more partial to animation, or do you have like favorite live action movies?
Mm, I guess it's kind of split because my favorite movies are always, Disney, Star Wars, Marvel.
Mhm.
So the Disney movies are going to be animated, but I love Marvel movies. I love. I think my favorite Marvel movie is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I really, really like that movie. And then I love all of the Star Wars movies. I always really, really enjoy them.
Mhm.
But that's what I'd say. What about you?
Um, when I try and think of my favorite movie, I can't think of just one. So, and most of the time I think of like franchises instead of movies. So, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, uh, and then of course Disney, Pixar, the big animation things
Yeah.
usually end up being my favorite movies. But yeah, if I'm forced to pick a favorite movie, the one that I always go to is Fantasia because I grew up with Fantasia. I loved Fantasia as a kid, and it's one that I could watch anytime and never be sick of. Even though it's not like a traditional movie,
Hmm.
I love it because it's just so creative, and you can either watch it or put it on the background. I love Fantasia.
Yeah. Even more reason for me to check it out. I really want to see it now.
It's really good. And favorite TV show, is it something anime, or do you have, like, any favorite, like, live action things?
I can't say that I really have like a favorite live action one. The only really live action TV I watch is the occasional reality TV, with like The Bachelor. But so yeah, I'd say that my favorite shows often are like I said, like the Clone Wars or the any of the anime shows that I'm watching right now. Definitely, anime has taken over my life right now.
Mhm. Well, you mentioned one of your favorite characters is the Mandalorian, so I'm assuming that's one of your favorite.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, that totally slipped my mind. Yes, I do love that's a live action one that I really love. I love, love, love The Mandalorian. And
And
oh, now it's all coming to me too. I'm really enjoying WandaVision right now. Have you
I
checked that
just
out?
watched that. Yes, it's so good.
I really like it a lot. I watched it with my family and they were like, this is kind of weird. And I was like, no, that's why it's amazing. I'm
Yes,
so into this.
exactly.
Yeah, I love all the just the mind bending, time bending weirdness, and honestly, like the actual like sitcom parts of it were really
Mhm,
cute, and I just was kind of just sitting back and enjoying just that. I mean, I really
mhm.
like it a lot, so I'm excited to see more of that.
Yeah, it's like the perfect blend of a sitcom with sort of a sci-fi mystery. I loved the sitcom-esque bits of it. It was like it's hard to explain to someone who's not watching it, but it's like you're watching a sitcom, but there's like this feeling of not quite unease, but like there's something else going on, and it's just so intriguing. I really like it.
Exactly. It's a blend of two very unalike things, but it
Yes,
just works so well. And it's just
yeah.
like a little puzzle that you're trying to solve. I really, really like it. I'm sure the actors had a lot of fun with it too, of
Oh,
doing kind of more sitcom moments. It seems like it would be really fun.
yeah, yeah. I can't wait to see where that goes. I'm really looking forward to more episodes. So, going back to some animation, what kind of stuff did you grow up on? Like, what was your favorite things to watch when you were a kid?
Mm, the earliest thing I can remember is I always watched Dragon Tales. That was a little animated show that I watched. I loved Dragon Tales, but no, I just grew up watching, just Disney movies. We had the VHS tapes, and so I we had like the VHS for Snow White, Aristocats, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, of course.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'd say I just grew up watching that and watching that's the only TV show that I can think of that when I was really young was Dragon Tales. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the
Dragon
only one.
Tales, I remember watching some of that. I think I was a teenager when it started, so it wasn't one that I was like into, but I remember watching it with my youngest brother, and my cousin was really into it when he was really young too. There was
Yeah,
do you know the YouTube channel Defunct Land?
I don't.
Okay, they usually talk about old park attractions, usually like Disney parks, but they have a series called Defunct TV, and they just did a really interesting documentary on Dragon Tales. And
Really?
if you are a fan of Dragon Tales, I think you should watch that. It was really interesting.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. That's very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
really
was
like that channel. Even though I've never been to like theme parks and stuff, their stuff is still interesting. But I especially like their talking about old TV shows. It's like more obscure things too. Like they did one on another cartoon that aired on PBS called The Big Comfy Couch. Not a cartoon, but like a live action thing. I
Mhm.
don't know if you've seen that or not, but that was really interesting to watch too, the history on that.
Huh. Yeah, that's very cool. I'll definitely have to check that out because that was, yeah, Dragon Tales was a big part of my childhood. Veggie Tales was a big part of my childhood.
That was another thing that I
Um,
don't think I watched till I was a teenager, but for some reason, even though I was a teenager, it became something that my whole family really liked, and we bought a bunch of DVDs, and yeah,
yeah,
we really like Veggie Tales, even though
Veggie
I was
Tales was
probably
funny.
too
It
young
was
for
genuinely
it.
really funny.
The silly songs. I even bought the silly songs CD. The soundtrack had all.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like
Amazing.
that.
Yeah, it was really cute. I think that might have actually been my mom always says that that was my first movie when I was a kid to like actually go to the movie theater for was like the Veggie Tales, the story of Noah, I think it was.
Jonah.
No, Jonah, Jonah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Jonah.
that
And
was
that was like,
actually going to be my next question. Was what was the first movie you went to see in the theater?
oh, there you go. I'm one step ahead. Yeah, no, my mom says that it was the Jonah from Veggie Tales.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember if we saw that one in the theater or not. Probably not, but we got it on DVD as soon as it came out because that was a little bit after we started getting into Veggie Tales. I think
Yeah.
I think we babysat, like me and my cousin, I think we're babysitting for somebody's kid, and they had a Veggie Tales DVD, and we thought it was hilarious, and then we wanted to find more, and that's how we ended up getting into it.
That's great. I think my I think after that movie, that VeggieTales movie, my second movie was like to see in the theater was Winnie the Pooh, and my mom said that I actually got bored, so so we left, and I just think that's funny because I never was a fan of Winnie the Pooh, and I'm still not. I never could get into Winnie the Pooh personally.
I've I've never seen the new version of Winnie the Pooh. I I remember some of the old Winnie the Pooh. The one
Hmm.
that I remember watching the most is The Search for Christopher Robin, because that was one that I think we borrowed from the library a few times. Other than that,
Oh,
I didn't really grow up on Winnie the Pooh. My cousin loves Winnie the Pooh, but she's more a fan of the book, which she says is way different and much better than the movies.
mm-hmm. I believe that. I think that makes sense.
I've seen a lot of quotes from the book, and it seems a lot deeper than you might expect from just the more familiar Winnie the Pooh.
Right, right. Yeah, I think I might have seen some of those quotes too. That's yeah, that's definitely true. Much different.
Do you have a favorite animation studio?
Hmm. I guess that would just have to be just Walt Disney,
Okay.
their animation studio and Pixar. I mean, they just consistently do such amazing work. I'm just always blown away by the stuff that they're able to create. It's always amazing.
And then we've talked about a lot of the big releases, Disney, Pixar. Do you have a favorite obscure animated film?
Hmm, that's a good question. Trying to think. Trying to think of the last time I watched something that was maybe like obscure and not a mainstream
Mhm.
studio. You know what? I think I do have one. I watched it a while back, maybe a year or 2 years ago, actually for rotoscopers. I don't remember what studio it came from, but it was The Breadwinner.
Oh yeah, that's Cartoon
That,
Saloon.
that was
Yeah,
really, really good. That
they have.
was really
I haven't seen all their
amazing.
movies, but they're a really good studio. I need to see their latest one. It came out on I think Apple TV or something. Apple's trying to get into
the entertainment market or what something. They bought the streaming rights to a movie called Wolf Walkers. It's by Cartoon
Mhm.
Saloon. Apparently, it's amazing. I still need to see it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I need to check out more stuff from them because I mean, obviously, I kind of forgot about it because it took me a second to remember Breadwinner. But yeah, I really really enjoyed that movie, and it was very impactful, and I walked away just very moved by it. It was really amazing.
Yeah, they're a really great little indie studio. I need to see the rest of their stuff. I need to watch Wolfwalkers because I need to put together my 2020 animation ranking because I want to do a podcast on that. I usually try and do an animation ranking every year, and there's still a
Yeah,
couple I'm missing, and that's one of them. I need to watch it.
yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so let's close this part with the what kind of brought us here. What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh, that's always a hard one. I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm really feeling a new hope just because of the nostalgia of it. And I don't know, there's just something so wonderful and beautiful, the start of a journey.
Hmm.
And then sometimes it's Empire Strikes Back, just because I think that's kind of lauded as like the best Star Wars movie by most people. And it is really amazing. But I also really enjoy the Force Awakens. And that was a big moment of a new generation of Star Wars films. And I love Rey. I love Kylo Ren. I just loved all those new characters so much. So I guess between those three, those are the ones that I bounce in terms of my favorite. Have you pinned down a favorite?
Um, I don't know. I kind of, but I kind of bounce back and forth between a few, and I know my choices are probably going to be controversial because the ones that I really like, it seems like everybody thinks are the worst. Because like my favorite of the original trilogy is Return of the Jedi. I don't know why. I
Hmm.
just think it's more fun than the others, and I just really like it. And then I loved The Last Jedi. I love that movie so much. I thought it was so interesting looking. I really
Yeah.
liked the story. I loved the visuals. I loved the planets. I Everybody talked about how dumb it was and the middle made no sense, and I loved it. I don't care. I
I
loved.
loved it too. I really liked The Last Jedi too. I really liked it. I even really liked me getting even more controversial. I enjoyed The Rise of Skywalker. I can recognize
Mhm.
some things that were not great and some things that could have been fixed, but I still enjoyed it. I mean, it
Yeah,
takes a lot for me to dislike a movie. Like I can still see something for its entertainment quality, and
yeah.
so I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I did not hate it. I thought that it had things that I would have done differently, but I
Mhm.
still enjoyed it. I definitely did not hate it like some people did.
Yeah, I didn't hate it at all.
I also really like Solo. I know a lot of people hate Solo, but I really liked it, and I want more, even though that seems unlikely. I want another movie in that
Yeah.
series.
See, I really liked Rogue One, and I was surprised that there are actually quite a few people out there who don't like it. I mean, like to each their own, but I
Mhm.
really, really liked Rogue One a lot, and so I'm really excited about the Cassian Andor series coming up because I
Mm,
I
yeah.
loved Rogue One.
Yeah, I didn't love Rogue One. I did like it, but
Hmm.
it's one of those things where I think I knew going in that I wasn't gonna love it because I knew how it was gonna end, and I knew that I was not gonna like the ending but that's how it had to be, so I can't complain about that because that's how it had to end. So,
Right.
yeah, that's why it's not one of my favorites, just because it had kind of a downer ending, but I did like the movie.
Yeah. I really liked it a lot. I loved all the characters. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks to Hannah for joining me for this episode of I Heart Movies. She'll be back next week for our deep dive into the very first Star Wars film, A New Hope. In the meantime, if you want more from her, she's starting her own podcast, and like she mentioned in the episode, she's big into cosplay on TikTok. If you want to find her online, I'll have her link tree in the description below. So next time will be our episode on Star Wars, and there's still time to get your thoughts into the episode. If you want to be featured on the next episode, make sure to leave me a voicemail or tweet at me, and I'll have those links in the description. So make sure to come back next week when Hannah and I will be talking all about Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. We'll see you then. Thanks for listening.